Hello and welcome to my video blog this week. It's all around the inner critic. So we all have an inner critic. We all have that part of us that's negative and puts us down and kind of keeps us small. And this week, this blog is all around working with that part of you. So just to give some context, we're all made up of lots of different voices, so sometimes it can feel like there's a bit of a party going on inside us. We can have positive voices saying, yay, go for it. We can have negative voices saying, oh, you're rubbish, don't do that, you're not very good, or you're too fat, or I wouldn't apply for that job, or I wouldn't do that. And sometimes it can feel like a little bit of too much noise going on inside, and we can become fused and attached to those voices and think that that's our truth and that's who we are. So this blog post is all around separating you from that voice and helping you see and give you some tips on how you can work with it. So first of all, to normalise, we all have critical parts of us that have an opinion and want to sort of keep us small and protect us. And it's there to protect us, but sometimes it can be out of balance and it can be not so helpful and hold us back from the life that we want to lead. It's often fear-driven and wants to protect us in some way, shape or form. So how this can come about in life is that you could be procrastinating about something that you really, really want to go for, but it actually never happens because you're always finding something that sort of stops you moving it forward. Or it could be that you kind of limit yourself in lots of ways of what you're doing in your life because of a fear that something's going to sort of happen or it's not going to work out. And in those instances in coaching, I often look with the client about what's going on internally. So that's my first pointer about what you can do. Start paying attention as to when your inner critic voice comes up. Is it around certain situations? Is it, for example, in meetings at work, or is it kind of when you're going out dating? Do you find it sort of says different things such as, oh, you're not very good, or you don't look very pretty, or you don't look confident enough, you're not putting yourself across in a particular way? Just start being aware of kind of when those voices come up, and then when you know when those voices come up, just keeping track of them and what the messages they're saying. This gives you an opportunity to actually be able to look and say, actually, do I believe that? Does it make sense to me? Is it true? Or is it just something that I'm buying into unconsciously and just kind of not really aware of what's going on? When we are aware of those voices, then we have a choice as to whether we choose to follow them or whether we actually choose another way. The next thing I suggest that you do is start being aware of kind of whether it's what sort of voice does it have? Does it sound like a parent, this voice, or does it sound like a teacher or something along those lines? Whatever that voice sounds like, kind of start being aware of it. Give it. What would it look like if it was standing right in front of you? Would it look I don't know, would it look really angry and critical and like a big red raspberry ready to tell you off and have a go at you? Or would it kind of be like a strict teacher sort of having a go and saying to you about something? Whatever it is, just kind of have it as personify it. And then also give it a name. It all sounds a bit random, giving a part of you a name and also sort of personifying it and kind of hearing what the messages are. But this all helps separate us from it so that we know that we're not just that voice and that part of us. And we know that we're other parts. So when we do that, we know that we have a choice about whether we listen to it or whether we want to listen to a nurturing and more helpful part of us. Next, if you start becoming aware of where you hear that most in your body, so where the energy you feel for it. So for example, you may feel a deadness in your stomach or a heaviness on your shoulders, or you may feel kind of your heart feeling restricted or constricted, or it may be in your head. Wherever you feel the energy of the inner critic voice, kind of pay attention to it and get into that body posture. So often when you do get into the body posture of the inner critic, you'll find that you're crouched and slouched in and hunched because it makes you small. Then I want you to do the complete opposite body posture. So that may be putting your shoulders back, it may be sitting upright, it may be standing, but whatever it is, it's getting into the posture that is the opposite to what that inner critic voice is and how that feels in your body. When you do that, it kind of sends off a signal to all the different cells in your body to let you know that this is something different and this is a different posture to how you were in when you're in the saboteur world. So my next tip is around being aware of kind of what the 2% truth is of what that part says to you, that inner critic part. So there's always some truth in everything that is being said to us, but it's just being aware of that truth and knowing what it is so we can work with it and see what there is with it all. So that's basically my little run through of inner critic work and what you can do. If you like it, please share it with people that you think may benefit from it, and share it with different audiences. If you want to set up a free face-to-face coaching session, just get in contact and let me know. My details are on the page below, and you can find me on booncoaching.com, and there's a contact form there. I love working with committed, passionate people who want to make change and real change in their life. Okay, that's it from me this week. Thank you and goodbye.